All right, so
Yay! I'm so excited for this.
I am too. Like, I'm trying to contain myself. We are back with episode 3 of season 2 of the Brown Skin Blueprint.
Yes.
Elated today to have a special guest. Chris, do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Chris, from Just Another Podcast. Here to trigger these women like I told them previously. Get them triggered and be extra toxic. But no, Chris Featherston, tuning in. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Yes, and we're happy to have you here. For those who are just tuning in, I'm Shawan Ward.
I'm Brittany Williams.
And this is the Brown Skin Blueprint.
Yes.
So, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the lovely, complicated relationship dynamics. So, if y'all don't follow Chris, by the way, Chris, please give me your IG handle.
Oh, it's Chris Featherston.
I mean, the relationship stuff he posts, sometimes, you know, I be triggered. Then sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, that is so true. And sometimes I'll be like, no, I need to unpack this because where is he going with this? So, yeah, we are like super excited to have this conversation because, yeah.
I've been called a few things.
Oh my God, I can imagine.
Just to talk about the names.
Right.
I would like to know.
I've been called a few things.
Okay, you want to start with the first one?
Oh, so the topic at hand today, we're going to talk about relationship dynamics.
Yeah.
And we're not going to even try to super categorize that. We're just going to touch all areas.
A little piece of everything.
Yes, however it flows. One particular topic I'm like extra excited to talk about, but we'll get there when we get there.
I already know it is. I already know.
I know you know. So, just to get into it, I wanted to kind of touch on monogamy versus polygamy because we are living in a new day, and things just aren't the way that they used to be. Everybody has different views. People are changing their perspective and opening themselves up to new things, new ways of living. And to start off, I just would like to know, what are your views on monogamy and polygamy? I should say.
And do you think monogamy is doable? Because the argument now is it's just too hard, it doesn't make sense. So at the end of whatever you say, do you think it's doable?
I think this junk goes deep because honestly, when you talk about monogamy and polygamy, when you talk about monogamy, I think it goes against nature. I think it does.
Okay.
But I will say that it depends on your belief. A lot of people separate humans from animals.
This is true.
Some people think we are just animals. We're just, you know what I'm saying? I know that sounds crazy, but if you think about nature, a man or a male, let's just say a male, because they're both different. Male is supposed to spread his seed, right? He's supposed to go out and multiply, right? Even if you take it to the Bible, that's what it says, go forth and multiply.
Right.
So, with that being said, I think it comes down to just honesty. Like, I think a lot of men in particular mess up with just the honesty portion. Like, I think they'll be surprised with a lot of women. I'm not saying women will be fine when you just going fucking around, but they'll be surprised at what you present. I think we assume what you guys can handle, and it's not the right thing to do.
Very true.
Like, if you want to be in a 1v1 relationship and you tell her that, that's what she's going to expect. So when you pop up and you saying, I got 3 girls back here, she's going to be like, what the fuck? But if you tell her off rip, hey man, and I've been in places like this, like where I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm playing the field, I'm enjoying myself.
Right.
And some girls are just, okay. And some girls will be like, me too. So, I mean, I think it's really just about your mouthpiece. Like when it comes to monogamy and polygamy, like I believe both can work. I believe you need to be able to provide for whoever you're gonna be sustaining. Like that goes from women and men. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Some people believe that women can't have multiple partners, whatever. For example, if a woman has multiple partners, right? Say you have 3 husbands and all them want kids. And you have to provide children for each of these men. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to be like, hey, you were number 1, you number 2, when I'm done with you, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and men, when y'all love to eat, if your girl likes to eat
Right.
and you got 3 of them.
Right. Are you?
Me personally, I'm like, nah, I'm cool with it. So it's like, I'm cool. I just think it just depends on the person. I think both of them can live. We could talk about monogamy and how it's been made to like marriage in general was made to like, in terms of resource to like sustain resources like land and stuff like that to keep certain resources in the family. I'll get your daughter to marry your son or whatever, just so we can all keep this together. So it's like, and then as people started to become able to sustain themselves just by themselves, because back in the day it was group economics all day.
Right.
Like we have to be a group to sustain, but now people are owning houses by themselves. So it's like they don't need that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. It's not.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'll let y'all go on this, but I think it just depends on the people.
It's one thing you touched on that I think is key, the communication piece.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, on the flip side, I feel women are at fault for this because men will tell you a lot of times in the beginning, I'm not looking for anything serious.
I've been there.
And I've been there too, where I've heard that, but nah, like, no,
Cause
nah, like you're gonna fall in love with me, like we gonna be together.
Mm.
And I think on the flip side, that's where a lot of women mess up because we hear that, we're told that, but somehow along the way we don't internalize or take in that was communicated to us. And then now it's a problem because you're like, well, why are you talking to such and such, or how are you messing with such and such? He told you in the beginning. And I just, not just myself, friends, family members, I know, it's kind of like it comes down to that question, like, well, what did you think was going to happen? Because this was told to you in the beginning. So I think you highlighting, in the beginning, whatever is communicated, whatever y'all say, you gotta stick to that. Like, I know emotions get involved and stuff changes, but a lot of times, I tell people all the time, especially men, a lot of times they will tell you up front, this is what it is, this is where I'm at. Some of them lie, I mean, hell. Yeah. But for the most part, most of the men that I have encountered, it was communicated to me up front, this is where I'm at, or this is how I feel. And usually, the woman is the one.
Y'all let y'all feelings blur the truth.
Yes, very much so. So yeah, I just think that was key because I feel like stuff is communicated, we just don't follow it or listen to what we're told.
I was gonna say oftentimes, I think the majority of my experiences, I was told from the jump, like, what it is, and then I could decide, I think I respected that, which is why, like, my views have totally changed, especially since I have come out of marriage. Right. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with your lifestyle as well. Like, that has changed my view on relationships and connections, like, in general, like, altogether. So, I wanted to touch on something you said about how women can let their, cause it's like we heard you, but that ain't what we want to hear, and we convinced that we gonna make it happen. I have found that current day, like the roles be reversing. Like, the roles really have, like, when I found that the guys that the guys who say they're about that whole being open and communicating openly and letting yourself experiences, within, like, those guys who say that. It don't be the case when they finally meet a female who agrees with them. I come from my experience.
You're not the first female I have heard say that. That if they kind of present themselves like, all right, whatever you want, I'm on. Yeah. It's fine in the beginning, but then it's kind of like, I don't know if you want to call it them being territorial. It's almost like, it sounds good, but now I don't want you to move how I move.
And it's like, and you know what? I think I want you to myself a little bit more.
Yeah, or like
I didn't know I was gonna get mad when I saw like.
You're not the first person I heard.
Kind of like that. Y'all seen that episode of Family Guy where the dude, the stabber, he poked himself. He's like, yo, that's what I've been doing to people.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
I mean, it might be like that. We hold y'all to such a high standard. Part of us don't like, and I'm not gonna say it ain't the territorial thing. Some of us just wanna, like, you mine, that's it. Men are very territorial. Yeah. But then in the same sense, we do put y'all on a pedestal. I'm not saying that's right, but we do, and it's like, well, a lot of us are raised without fathers. We're not gonna go into that. I have my dad, thankfully, but a lot of us are raised without fathers. So it's like, you only have your mom, and you that ends up making you susceptible to putting women on a pedestal. And I've been there where even though I have my dad, I still put my ex on a pedestal, and that wasn't a safe place. She's human. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the times when y'all come at us with that, like, I had somebody say to me yesterday, it was like, in the comments, they were like, dudes will get around a circle and talk about how they dogs. I'm like, for one, I want to respond and be like, shit, that's awareness. But on the other side of that, when we say those things and we see y'all doing the same stuff we do, we're like, no, we don't. Y'all not supposed to do that. Let us do that dog shit.
Not you.
Like, yeah.
See a dog.
Like, don't do that. But it's like, we're not ready for that truth. And I think that just comes with ego, man. Like, girls want sex too. And then we in a world where it's an even playing field now.
For sure.
Women are out here getting their own money and they doing their own thing. Not saying that there's good sides to it and there's bad sides to it.
Right. Yeah.
Because now you guys have pride too, and you guys have something to lose as well. So it's like, it's gonna be a clash. It's not gonna be a complimentary thing. It's gonna be, we're both, you know what I'm saying? The negotiations are a little longer.
It is. I agree.
So,
I never thought about it that way. It is though.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
I think about it only because my mom comes from 11. It's 11 of them.
my mom too, shoot. Same
So they real old school. So then when I think about, marriage is not lasting as long and stuff like that, I'm thinking, where the hell was my grandma gonna go? She didn't know how to drive. She got 11 kids. Really, she was gonna pack up and leave what was she gonna do when she left my granddad? Like really. So anytime people bring up those arguments about how we like our grandparents and I'm like, circumstances ain't the same. Like, you couldn't even have a bank account back in the day as a woman. Like, really, what were you gonna do because your husband had another family on the other side of town? Or 2 or 3, what were you gonna do? So I think that's a key point to bring up because it's not the same. It is completely different.
And there's the fact that it's just back to the line stuff.
Yeah.
Like, just be for real. Like, be for real. I think a lot of the times, the heartbreak is just the unexpectedness. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's a pace and you're gradual with it, there's a shock factor to like, oh, I thought it was just me and you. Now it's me and 16 of y'all. Or something. Then it's just like a shock. I think most of it is like, a woman will build, y'all are big on security, right? So it's like pulling that rug up from up under y'all. And I think it's not, dudes will fuck 5 chicks and not think a damn thing about it. I have this emotional connection to you. I know that may sound like BS, but it's real. I can give a about you. You know what I'm saying? You got a fat ass. I like it. Cool.
Right.
That's a whole different topic. I think dudes should control that too. But in that same sense, I have this connection to you, and it's like, if you would just be honest about it, and like from the jump, you wouldn't have her building this whole reality that you're gonna eventually. That's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all build this whole environment because that's what y'all are made to do, and then a man will like just. You know what I'm saying? Like, just with the dishonesty.
And I feel like with the openness, because women, sometimes we confuse, you said we like to be security, we confuse that with attachment. I feel like when you're open in that way, when you communicate it, because you're not supposed to really attach yourself to anybody. Like, so you create an attachment versus a connection. And so when you're honest, it leaves the clarity. You're allowed to have an authentic connection relationship, like you said. You know this is genuine. Like, I have an emotional. Yes, I'm a sexual being as well. And I feel like with that clarity, women can healthily connect with people in a way when you're open in that way, and it changes our perspective about things because now the value is here and not in my attachment to you, and I can even figure out do I even enjoy this like this? Do I want to be open in different ways? How do I want to regulate the way that I go and still have this emotional connection with this person? So that communication, I feel like, solidifies a peaceful tone if you're dealing with somebody who's like-minded.
You presenting your authentic self.
Exactly.
And connected with both of y'all were saying, I feel like when that line and dishonesty comes in, you take away my choice to decide what I want to do. Going back to what you said in the beginning. If you feel like I can't handle something, let's find out if I can handle it or not.
Yeah.
Don't have me, Lord, see, you're triggering me already. I would tell niggas, don't have me in a room with no bitch. She knows something I don't know.
Yo, I used to tell my ex that, I used to tell my ex the same thing, don't have me shaking no hands.
Listen, it's the embarrassment for me. Don't have me out here looking crazy, especially guys, well, unless you're petty. But I feel like guys, they a little more cool. I feel like bitches are too petty for that. So don't have me nowhere, somebody smiling, oh hey girl, your shoes cute and stuff. Whole time y'all done fuck. Don't have me out there like that.
It's crazy.
Like for real. So I just feel like when you are honest, when you are authentic, you really take away that, okay, I got a choice. Like, am I gonna keep dealing with this? Or, you know, is that in the past and I can let it go? Cause then you bring up all these emotions when we do find out. And I feel like when you talk about that shock factor, it has like an earthquake effect. Cause usually it's not just as simple as, oh, I fucked her 2 weeks ago. Y'all fucked 5 times in the past 2 weeks. Or it's been an emotional connection going on, and then now you're not telling me the whole truth. So yeah, I just feel like if you don't lie or if you just say what it is, then you know you can have a choice and what you can figure it out.
It's all about what you build around too. And I want to touch with what you said about connection and attachment. Like that was very deep because I feel like let's just say it like this: when you meet somebody, we're authentic, but you're not gonna divulge your entire self to somebody immediately.
Exactly.
Right.
So when you cut that presentation off at the halfway point, you're not showing them everything. You don't even know. You could be putting them onto something that they possibly could like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I can't really give an example, but say you presented your entire self, you might trigger something in them and be like, oh wow, I like that too.
Right.
Or something like that. So you never know, for real. I think it just goes back to the assumption, and then connecting that to that attachment versus connection. You don't know, like if, say we are 2 puzzle pieces, right?
Yeah.
And that one of them little humps, you leave it off. You know what I'm saying? You never know how you could link with that person and to create a deeper connection. Like I feel like attachment is more like surface level. Like I'm just sticking to his leg.
Yeah.
But I really didn't know, like there's a hole over here, like a void in him that I can feel for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or like we can really complement each other right here,
Right.
to the point where it creates something that's like forever lasting, rather than something that's just like temporary.
Very true.
But that was really deep.
But people aren't patient enough to let that happen anymore. We want,
I'm not confident enough either.
we've been talking for this long, so this means we got to have a bond now, and that we've been having this bond for this long, so that means we got to get rid of people do not. And so you can't build stuff like that. The feelings most of the time feels instantaneous, and people, it's like a drug. They keep looking for that feeling over and over again, and they forget that you have to actually exist next to this person.
You gotta build.
Exactly. Which I feel like segues into the next topic, because I feel like we touched on the unrealistic explanations with partners and being open up front. Like, what are the benefits of both?
Of being open up front.
Well, the benefits of a working monogamous relationship, because I've seen it work and it be fine because of the place and how the people live. And then I'm trying to think, I know maybe a few, I don't know them, successful polygamous relationships. So like, what are the benefits of both?
I was about to say, it goes back to the shoulders and hips, to be honest.
Ooh.
Like, how much can you carry? Like, if you can't carry these 3 women, you can't give your all to these 3 women, then you really hurting yourself and you hurting them. Like, I feel like monogamy works because you only got one person to focus on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, would you rather have your kids in a class with 5 people?
Right.
Would you rather have your kids in a class with 20 people?
Right.
When's your kid gonna get any intimacy? You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
So it's like that with me, like with that when it comes to that. But unrealistic expectations is like, I feel like when you stretch yourself thin in that regard, it can create a unrealistic expectation of your partner or whatever?
I think from my perception, I feel like when you're talking unrealistic expectations, kind of going back to the y'all putting this on the pedestal thing. I feel like men and women do this. We search for stuff in our partners that really is within us that we shouldn't really be looking to other people to give us.
Absolutely.
Because even with the security thing, like, are you looking for somebody to make you feel secure, or are you looking for somebody to say, you know what, if we build a life together, I know you're going to hold down a job. I ain't got to worry about you, saying, oh, I'm not paying no bills, or I ain't got to worry about you, gambling the damn light bill money away or something like that. Like, what we talking about when we talking security? Or if we're talking happiness, are you talking about us building a life together and us being happy with what we have done? Or are you seeking for me to make you happy, which really should not be my responsibility? Should I be doing stuff that, brings joy to your life? Absolutely. But like happiness itself or joy, I shouldn't be providing that for you, because now I'm gonna fail you. I can't constantly provide you with happiness. I'm gonna fail you, not because I want to, but because it's just not my responsibility. Like, I can't constantly provide certain things, and I feel like that is where people mess up, because we look and seek things in people when really some of that has to be within us already. Because now this person has disappointed us, and it's kind of like our world has crashed because somebody didn't fulfill something that they shouldn't have been doing in the first place.
We don't think about relationship as far as with ourselves.
No, not at all.
I talk to myself. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I talk to myself. I think one of the benefits of the mask is that I can talk to myself in public. I can just talk to myself. And sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you need to be whole within yourself to the point where everything that your partner brings is a bonus.
Yes.
Like, it's just like extra. Like, I think they should just be extra. Like, I'm mentally whole. I have my finances correct. All this stuff to the point where everything that you bring can truly be appreciated for what it is. And it's not being measured up with something. Like, say if I'm half full and you just bring a quarter, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it like, huh? But that's not, like you said, that's unfair. Like, if you bring a quarter, I'm at 100. Oh, I'm at 125 now.
Boom.
Oh, we lit this shit. It's fire.
Yeah, we good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is key. Confidence in yourself will have you'll be more honest with somebody when you're whole.
Yes.
Because they're not taking something that you need now.
Yep.
Like, if I need this from you, like, a lot of dudes just keep it 100. They're ready. They're a little funny. They need them cheeks. It's validation.
It is.
They need it. So it's like, I feel like I need to lie to keep it now.
Yes.
Like, when you know, like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's gonna be there. You can be honest and be like, you'll be able to take the risk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want somebody that's cool with taking risks, and it just comes with confidence.
To piggyback off of what you said, when you do that whole looking for that happiness in the person, that literally means, like, now it's contingent on their ability. Like, you will never be happy unless that person wants you to be happy. You can do that. So,
you blow it to win.
Like, literally.
Like, what happens when they have a bad day?
So I was gonna say, I feel like we should even change the whole mindset about security. It's not even, we should be providing security within ourselves. So it ain't even that we looking for security. We looking for somebody else who's also secure. Like, that's what we should be seeking after. Not, like you said, and with that, I know you're gonna hold the job down. Like, I know you're stable. I can be stable on my own. You can be stable on your own. Now let's do this together.
Right.
So yeah, that is. I hope y'all listening, because that is so profound. I feel like we changed a lot of different, just dynamics in general, and offenses, and just feeling like people are abandoning you or whatever in relationships.
And that's not what it is. Like, we internalizing stuff we're not even supposed to be internalizing. It don't have nothing to do with us. But we didn't grasp onto this thing that we ain't even supposed to be holding on to because we missing it, or we don't have it, or we never had it. So
sometimes you gotta go back to the basics, and I think it just comes with, like, I think mental security is the most important, just because I think they both are proportional. Like, even financial security, say you lose a job, you're gonna be mentally affected by that.
Right.
Just not financially.
Yeah.
Right.
So you need somebody who you know you can be vulnerable with.
Yeah.
Right.
Dudes got a lot on their shoulders when it comes to, say, being the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people think it's just like, I run around and tell her what to do. No, bro, if this shit sink, They're gonna be looking at you.
What the hell he got going on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I think, did Kadeem say it? We was talking about this before. Kadeem was like, yo, when LeBron's team loses, they say LeBron gets all the credit when they win the championship, but when they lose, they looking at him too.
Yes.
Like, it's your fault.
Yes.
So I think it's just like, we want somebody who, when life is life, right? You're gonna fall. We want a woman that's gonna be there when we fall, because it's gonna happen.
Right.
And I feel like that's security for us. Somebody who's gonna be like, it's okay, I believe in you. You're not what you was bringing to the table. What you was bringing, you were the source. You weren't a product. You were the source. You still had that in you. We want a girl that's gonna nurture and encourage. So yeah, and y'all are like our walking inspiration. Anyway, like I always tell people this, and it's the truth. We do everything for y'all.
I agree with.
Everything, all that building over there, all this stuff was built for y'all.
I agree.
Like when you break it down like that, that's really, man.
I didn't understand that though until my current connection. The whole you inspire me.
Mm-hmm.
I just did not. My brain could not comprehend that. It couldn't. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it just was the timing of it, but I didn't get that. And to hear you say it, it was like confirmation.
No,
like
for real.
I needed to hear that again. Like that's wow. That make you even look at how you change your perspective on how you look at relationships.
This
Just
shit
that
is
knowing that.
simple. It's really simple.
It is.
It's really simple.
It really is.
Okay, so question for you, Chris.
Okay.
Because I listening to you talk even about how when you were saying like even monogamy is kind of like unnatural, and like your knowledge behind polygamy versus monogamy. What's like a myth buster? Like what's something that you could share to like about polygamy that maybe people have a view of that's not necessarily true?
It's gonna be one that everybody already have said before. Polygamy just ain't about sex.
Yeah.
Like it's not. That shit. I think that shit is like the last thought, to be honest. By the time, like, you gotta really put yourself in that world. Even though I've never been in it, I've talked to people who have been in polygamous relationships, and it's work, bro. Like one kid is gonna be different than having four. Like, not saying that men and women are children, but you gotta keep up with these people.
Yeah.
And these people just don't have sexual needs; they have financial needs, mental needs. Shoot, you gotta deal with their family. You gotta deal with in-laws now. You gotta deal with all the outside friends and all this outside stuff that they're bringing in the house. You have to be a strong center to like provide, and like I hate that word because it automatically always goes to just finances.
Yeah.
It's not just about finances. What happens when all jokes aside, what happens when all these women on their period at the same time? But that's what happens when y'all close together. Y'all all start syncing up with your periods and stuff, and then what happens when y'all all want children at the same time, and then what happens when, you know what I'm saying, one of them might be sleeping outside of the relationship. How do you take care of that? How do you create order within that? Because they all can't be the same.
No.
To be honest with you.
No.
Even if y'all have multiple men, you gotta have that one. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have order. I'm sorry, I'm a firm believer in order. You just can't have all people thinking they have the same, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like with being a leader, you have to, I feel like a leader is just an administrator. So you have to read these people. You got to say, she's good at this, she's good at this, she's good at this. She has the highest paying job. You'll keep working. You're good with children. You're going to watch the kids. You got to like, this is like a community. It's like a little community. So it's work. I think that's the biggest misconception. It is work.
And we were talking, me and Shawn was talking about this last week, and I was telling her, so from one of the documentaries I've seen on polygamy from like Africa, I don't know what country they were in, but it was like a community. Like all the women, like they were doing each other's hair, like somebody was, you know, washing clothes and stuff, somebody was cooking. So it's kind of like, and the order is key because it is a community. It's like everybody works together. I mean, they had, you know, the HBIC, but for the most part, it was like, okay, who doing this today? Who doing this today? And it was all of us are working together. So you're right. It's not just this whole, oh, I got all these wives I have sex with. Like, no. Like, if you talk about having